Just wait 1 minute, then I'll get started. Thank you to my replay viewers. Please hit like and share, please, and share this information for somebody who might need it. This is Let's Talk Money, episode number 1. I've decided to get on and talk about money because it's an important topic. Most people are super sensitive about money and will not talk about it openly. So I decided that I would do a series on Let's Talk Money and really share my experience, things that I've been through, and things that have helped me. And I know that most people struggle silently with money, living paycheck to paycheck, and it's a terrible, and I have to, a terrible way to live. And so if I can share one thing, and I'm not going to take up a lot of time when I come on each day and talk about Let's Talk Money, if I can share one thing that will help you get free, if I can share one thing that'll help you change the trajectory of your life, that's what I want to do. And so today's Let's Talk Money is about saving 10%. Hi, Annette. Thank you for joining. So today's topic is let's save 10% of your income and the magic of 10. Oh my goodness. So I am a Jesus girl and I love God. So my first 10% goes to God, my local church. But I do believe that the next, after I pay tithes and offering, the next 10% of that income is mine. So that means that nobody else can have that 10%. I will not pay another bill until the 10% that belongs to me comes to me. So let me tell you the problem that we have when we don't save 10%. So we can admit that every single person that will watch this video, and even those that will not, will go through seasons of life. And so with seasons of life, we have all kind of stuff that happens. Divorce. We have, a flat tire, a ticket, all kind of things that'll happen. The freezer will go out, the refrigerator will break down, all kind of things will happen. But if we don't save 10%, we don't have anywhere to get that money from except for places that we don't want to get it from, especially if we don't have good credit where we can, put it on a credit card, if you have to go to a finance company or something like that. So I've been down that road before, going to a finance company. And so my thoughts is this: before anybody can get any money from me, that 10% comes to me, because the finance company or anybody else that you have to borrow that money from, even if it's a relative, it's kind of like what it's what the Bible says. The lender is, basically, I always think handcuffed, to the borrower. I mean, the lender controls the borrower. So if you need money, you have to go to wherever to get the money. They control you until you pay them back. And so most of the time, it's a high price to pay. So the first thing I always say is, no matter what you have to do, starting from this point forward, you need to save 10% of your income for yourself. And then, as soon as you can, save 20%. And so if you can't save 10% and you're saying, okay, Shonda Miles, I don't care what you say, I can't save 10%. What you need to do is look at the 52-week challenge. You can go and Google it. The 52-week challenge allows you to save a small percentage of income every week until you're able to, grow that money. So my only problem with the 52-week challenge, and if it's necessary, if you can't save 10% of your income, then that's what I advise you to do. But the problem with that is that sometimes the unexpected things of life will happen faster than I can save the money in the 52-week challenge. And so there's some delaying of gratification, of course. You can't just start saving 10% tomorrow and not give up something. And of course you can if you get a second job. But you have to figure out how to save the 10%. You have to look at your budget and say, okay, can we cut out X, Y, Z? Or can I cultivate another stream of income? And I'll be talking about that too. So that's one of the things to talk about is cultivating streams of income. So I talk about money and medical coding. That's what I talk about. That's what I feel led to talk about. That's what I feel gifted to talk about. That's what I want to do to be able to help people. So you have to figure out how to get the 10%. And if you don't, for the rest of your life, you'll be in bondage to somebody else, because you just have to have money saved for things that happen. And so you could just look at, where you spend, where you can cut cut expenses? Like, is it eating out? Is it, I don't know, going to the movies, entertainment, whatever it is, you have to figure out how to cut it or make more money. So saving 10% is crucial. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your economic background is, particularly if you live in poverty or you live in paycheck to paycheck. It is a necessity because you cannot dig yourself out of a hole if you don't have money in the bank. It's so important. And so while we're on that, I'll just mention that if you are in debt and you owe money and you don't have 10% of income to save, I want you to go do it today. But the second thing I want you to think about is for everybody that you owe and you cannot pay, call them today and say, okay, can I give you $5? Can I give you $10? Because your credit needs to be better. So you can get, lower interest rates on whatever, whether it's car, house, whatever, insurance, employment, whatever. You want to be able to get better rates so you can save more money. So saving money is important. 10%, that's the number. I want you to think about this every single day until you make up your mind. Are you going to cut the cable off? Turn the internet off? Not go out with your friends? No, whatever. You got to figure out how to save the 10% or go and make the money, make the extra income so that you can save the 10%. But 10% is the gold mine. It's not the gold mine, but you know what I'm saying. Something happens. There's a discipline that happens when you can put money in the bank and leave it there for what you need, emergencies. And we'll talk about more because, more has to happen. You have to increase that. There has to be different buckets for different things. But I'm just saying right now, today, I want you to think about how you can save 10% of your income. It's super important. Another thing is just kind of another little thing that you might consider is my husband and I, what we did initially was we put money in a jar, and he would, every time he broke $1, he would put money in a jar. And so after, I don't know how long, we had $300 at first, then $1,500. So, money grows that way too. So if you think, okay, if you have to trip yourself up, psych yourself out, whatever you have to do, make sure you're saving that 10%. Put the money in a jar. Put whatever you want to do. You can make it automatic. That makes it better. You don't have to worry about seeing that money. You don't have to worry about talking yourself out of it every other Friday. So make a commitment today. Save the 10%. You can drop it in the comments that you're making a commitment to save 10%, and I will be following up with you and seeing if you're saving 10%, because I know how important it is. I know that 10% could turn to 20% to 30%, and it could change your life. And that's what we need to do. We, as a people in this whole country, we need to be able to have power, have power that we're not spending every single dime that we have, because something wrong with us if we're spending every single dime we have. We make more money, and this is for anybody. It doesn't matter if you're making $10 an hour or $100 an hour or $1,000 an hour. We all can at some point have problems with saving money, and so it's important that you do it. So I hope you'll make a commitment to save 10%. Drop it in the comments if you're making a commitment to save 10% every time you get money, not just when you get a paycheck or if you're in business for yourself. Save 10%. If you can save more, if you've been saving 10% and 10% is comfortable for you, commit to saving 20%. Make a commitment, and you can really sit down and really lay out your goals and do some things that you want to do. So most of us can't do that because we don't have a plan. We don't have 10%. We're not saving 10% at least. So save 10%. So before you pay whoever you owe, your car note, mortgage, credit cards, whatever, save the 10%, and then everybody else gets what's left. And when you start doing that, of course, money is an energy, so it'll attract more money. So make sure you're doing that, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow about Let's Talk Money, episode number 2. Thank you.